Our strict vice principal vanished every Friday at 3:15, and I found out why years later. When I was a kid at Westridge High, the biggest rumor wasn't about a couple. It was about our vice principal, Ms. Winters. She was always polished, pencil skirt, blouse buttoned to the neck, hair in a tight bun, not a strand out of place. She taught AP English and could shut down a noisy cafeteria with one raised eyebrow. But every single Friday she did one strange thing. At exactly 3:15 p.m., she would vanish. Not 3:14, not 3:16. She'd check an old wristwatch, snap her book closed mid-lesson if she had to, grab a leather messenger bag, and power walk to the parking lot like she was late for something serious. Once she ended a class early with 30 confused seniors staring at an unfinished lecture. Another time, she cut off a parent meeting even though an important guest was sitting right there. A guy finally asked her why she was so strict about Fridays, and she gave a tight smile and said, "We all have commitments. Mine require punctuality." Then she gave him detention for inappropriate curiosity, which only made it worse. After that, everyone had a theory. Witness protection, secret family, secret job. We'd watch the clock on Fridays like it was a countdown and whisper, "Here she goes." Then we graduated and moved on, and the Ms. Winters mystery faded into the pile of high school stories that don't matter anymore. 10 years later, I'm living in Nashville, still trying to make music work. One night I played a short set at a cramped dive bar, then stepped off stage with my fingers aching. The MC grabbed the mic and said, "Give it up for Detention Hell." The room actually cheered. 4 people walked out in all black, and then the singer stepped up front. She looked like she was in her 50s and totally fearless. Black leather pants, combat boots, bright pink hair and a sharp mohawk. Tattoos covered both arms, quotes mixed with skulls and roses. I stared, because she looked like the last person who would ever tell a kid to stop running in the hall. She grabbed the mic and said, "We're going to melt your faces off tonight, Nashville." Her voice was rough, but the way she said Nashville was precise, like she cared about every syllable. The band slammed into the first song, fast and loud, and the crowd surged forward. People started jumping and shouting the words back like this was their favorite band. I tried to shake it off and enjoy it, but something about her stance kept poking at an old memory. Then, in the middle of the second song, she lifted one hand. The band cut out on a dime. The room went silent for half a second. She leaned in and said, "Breathe, now hit it." The band snapped right back in. That one move made my stomach drop, because I'd seen that exact calm control before. She kept pacing like she was watching a classroom, and when one guy started filming in her face, she pointed and said, "Back up, you're not special." He actually stepped back. I watched her face closer. Different hair, different clothes, different everything, but the posture was the same. The eyes scanning the room were the same. During the third song, she stepped to the edge of the stage, pointed into the crowd, and shouted a line about rules and cages. When she turned, I saw a small mark near her jaw that I remembered from school pictures. My brain finally connected it, and I felt cold. That's Ms. Winters, the woman who once made me rewrite an essay for using too many adverbs. I kept watching, waiting for anything that proved I was wrong. Between songs, she glanced down and checked her wrist. Not a phone, an old watch. My throat went dry. Friday at 3:15 wasn't some secret meeting. It was this: load in and sound check. When their set ended, the crowd exploded, and the singer gave a short bow, like a teacher ending class. I moved before I could talk myself out of it, and went toward the side door by the stage. A security guy blocked me and asked what I wanted. I said, "I know her from school." He squinted like he didn't believe me, then said, "Fine, wait there." I stood by the door with my heart pounding like I was about to get called into the office. A minute later, she came out wiping her hands with a towel. Up close, she looked even more like her, just louder. She looked straight at me and said, "Jake Wilson, class of 2011. I just nodded. She smiled, a real smile, and said, "You can call me Raven here." I blurted out, "So the rumors were true." She laughed and said, "I never lied. I just left on time." I asked why she made it so mysterious. She shrugged and said, "Small towns run on gossip." I gave them enough mystery to keep them busy. Then she leaned in and said, "Teaching paid the bills. This fed the soul." I was still staring at the mohawk when she added, "And if you tell anyone back home, remember I still have those poems you wrote about Melissa Jenkins. The ones full of adverbs." She winked, walked past me, climbed into a tour bus out back, and the door shut with a solid click. Now my friends are saying I made it up for attention. Was I wrong?